This is Ola, man of prestige, your favorite relationship and marriage coach. If you enjoyed this, smash that like, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs it. Be a part of the Prestige family. My wife Lola and I have written two powerful books, Get My Marriage Back and Number One Red Flag. Yours free at manofprestige.com. For personal coaching, send me a WhatsApp request for consultation to +17323058577. Stay tuned for more. Your journey to love and prestige starts here. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Happy New Year. We're just going to hit the ground running. Happy New Year to you. Yes, it's the first day of 2026. Can you imagine? Yes, we're back here. And yeah, I'm excited to be here. So the first news I wanted to really start diving in through is this Yul Edochie's news. Over here, I saw this on Insta blog Niger. It says, if I had my life to live over again. That's an interesting way to take it. I'm sure many of you have a different expectations here, maybe subconsciously, maybe. All right. But let me make sure I set my situation here, make sure we're good to go. All right, perfect. So this is exactly what he said. He says, if there's one thing I've learned, it is that you, O Lord, are faithful to those who believe and trust in you. I'm thankful to be alive to see a new year. I'm thankful for the lives of my loved ones. I'm thankful for the unlimited grace. This is Yul Edochie typing this. I'm thankful for your mercies and grace. I'm thankful for your mercies and love. I pray that this year you are strengthening our faith in you, that you strengthen our faith in you. I pray you continue watching over us and protecting us. I pray for a year free from pandemic, accidents, and untimely death for myself, my family, and my family. All right, so just a quick backstory. As you know, this man was some few years back, he used his own hand to scatter his own family using the same social media tools. So I'm happy to be seeing this from him, as a matter of fact, you know. But over the past several months, a lot of speculation. Wala. A lot of speculation around on his new girlfriend or wife or second wife, whatever you want to call it. People basically speculating that they're now separated. I don't know if people are fantasizing that they should separate or not, but a lot of people are speculating around that. Hold on one second. Let's see here. Happy New Year again. Happy New Year. We're back at it again. I hope you had a good rest, everybody. All right. So, okay. All right. Yeah. Just wanted to make sure I get the right one. Let's see here. Okay, all right, perfect. So let me keep reading. So he says, I pray you continue watching over us and protecting us. I pray for a year. Okay. All right. So one thing we're sure of is no matter what this year brings, with you by our side, there's nothing we can't conquer. To my king, Isi Emily Okafor. Okay, this is the so this is what my bad. This is what Judy Austin, his new wife, posted. Okay, his new wife's second wife, bigamy wife, whatever you want to call it. Okay, so this is what she posted, and I'm trying to see here. Okay, let's see here. Okay, so allegedly, the response that she got was basically, if I had my life to live over again, I would find you sooner so I could love you longer. Okay, so this is actually Judy Austin who is saying this, not Yul Edochie. And she's saying it to Yul Edochie. All right, so but let me keep reading. So she's still talking, not Yul Edochie. She's still talking. Said, to my king, Simile G. Okafor, Yul Edochie, if I had my life to live over again, I would find you sooner so I could love you longer. Okay. You make the world a better place just for being. I can see the gentlemen now, they're like happy, like, this is kind of feminine wife, not feminine, but maybe a wife that will stroke my ego. That, well, not that way, but you make the world a better place just for being in it. I'm nothing but thankful and so grateful to God to be loved by you. God will announce you royally this year, my love. Amen. This is going to. Now, sadly, anytime Yul Edochie posts something on the internet, it looks like his trolls will come there and will just drag him. So it looks like that has reduced greatly, though. Maybe people are giving him some kind of grace, you know. But the wife is celebrating him. You can't hate on that. Like, what kind of human being are you? You cannot hate on that. Let me keep reading, okay, before I jump into conclusions here. Say, to all our lovers, to all, may this year bring you good health. May you, what about your haters? Be nice. Say, may this year bring you good health. May you have the love and support of those you love. May you be blessed financially. May all your burdens be lifted up your shoulder. Amen. Me, I'm a lover, but I don't know. Me, I'm a lover. Personally, I am a lover of all mankind. All right. Let me see who is here. Shout out to Jojo. Hello, Jojo. Good to see you. Shout out to Barry Hall. Good to see you. So God bless anyone reading this. May you go forward now in the Lord's light and love. Don your hammer and swords of our Lord and fight any and all negativity. Jesus is our salvation. Thank you, Barry. Thanks for the prayer. Hit the like button as you're hopping in. We're just talking about Isimili Oji Ofo and Yul Edochie. No, sorry. And his girl, Judy Austin. That's what we're talking about. So I think it's nice to see this from them. Here's what I'm going to tell you. Before I go into that, let me read some of the comments on that post on Instablog Nigeria. Somebody said, you find someone's husband sooner. No, wait. You find, there's a question mark on it. You find somebody's husband sooner. Let me make it bigger so you guys can see. You can hang out with me here. Wait, you find somebody's husband sooner? What are you talking about? Wow. So it's by say, no, not this one. You find someone's husband sooner. God, please give Queen May and her children the strength to keep moving forward regardless. Here's what we don't know that I have to keep reminding you guys. We don't know what happened in that marriage. The only thing we know is that there was a marriage. And what we know is that a lot of times people will stay in a marriage for years. I think they were together for like, 18 years, 20 years? And it ended up the way it ended up. I mean, we saw his bad behavior on the internet, but that's all we see. Oftentimes, you see the person that's being the most volatile, their behavior, and you might choose a side off of what you see, and you might just take a side and decide to believe, but we don't know. Somebody said, audacity, they cry. Somebody said, for person husband, God, I beg go, because they're still married. They haven't finalized their divorce yet, at least not the last time I checked, right? Not the last time I checked. Okay. As a matter of fact, Yul Edochie posted a video. He said, happy birthday to you, Unwonye Odogu Ijele Isimi Ijiofo. What does that mean? Igbo people, please help me here. May your new age be filled with countless blessings. Okay, so they're praying for each other. They're praying to the same God you pray to. So don't be so quick to say the prayer will not be answered. Though. The common denominator here is that everybody has a God and they are praying to their God. Let me see here. Let me take a look at something. So I think it's interesting, to say the least. I think what I'm looking at is interesting. I think the general public generally fantasize that this is a Nollywood, that real life is Nollywood, and they're expecting karma to happen fast. I'm not saying karma will not happen. No, I just wouldn't count on it if I were you. I will work on myself. I will gather myself the rest of my life. This is 2026 now. Don't spend your life waiting for karma to happen. Make sure you are engaged in self-development. Whatever you're doing, make sure you're engaged in self-development. Somebody said on Leader AKG, one of the comments on Leader AKG blog official says, Judy has to be by far the most insensitive person to exist. If she was emotionally intelligent, there are some statements that should end in your mind saying, I would have found you sooner. Isn't romantic when it raises real? Well, the sad news for you is that Yul Edochie does not agree with you. Okay? Too much is given, much is required. Let me say it that way. To whom much is given, much is required. Please, whatever you're doing, just protect yours. Nurture yours. Do everything in your power. Sometimes many people would argue that sometimes that's not enough. But at least if you're doing it from a place of authenticity, it won't be a big deal. You know what I'm saying? So make sure you're nurturing. Make sure you're engaging your personal development. Make sure you have enough to pour. Make sure you're pouring into yourself so you don't end up pouring from an empty cup. Okay? That's all I'm going to tell you, because husband snatchers, that's a real concept. I don't know if they are real as persons. You and I, we don't want to have to argue on that one. But that's a real concept, and we're seeing more and more of it. Okay? So nurture yours, nurture your family, embrace your family, hug them every day, do everything in your power. Make sure you're giving abundance of grace. That's your biggest point of leverage. This accountability thing that all of you are doing all over social media, you're going to end up losing the people you love the most. And I'm not talking just romantic relationship, because your focus is on right and wrong. And you're overly focused on that. I'm not asking you not to tell people when they're wrong. I'm saying if that's what you're spending most of the time doing, that's called criticism. Okay, you're being critical, and you're probably going to sow seeds that you don't plan to sow. Okay, do me a favor, hit the like button, share, subscribe. Shout out to all of you. Happy New Year. Welcome back. Hit the like button, share, subscribe, turn up your notifications, and I'll be right back with some other trending news.
This is Ola, man of Prestige, your favorite relationship and marriage coach. If you enjoy this, smash that like, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs it. Be a part of the Prestige family. My wife Lola and I have written 2 powerful books, Get My Marriage Back and Number 1 Red Flag. Yours free at manofprestige.com. For personal coaching, send me a WhatsApp request for consultation to +1 732 305 8577. Stay tuned for more. Your journey to love and prestige starts here.
And we're traveling. We're going to that place. I think once every week, we'll come back at night. On the way, we're very close, but something happened. I'll put it like that. I asked them to turn back and go to the house. On getting to the house, we were not expected to come back that early. It was me and my immediate younger brother, the only brother biologically I have. I don't know whether it is around. Is he around? Is he around? Please, if he's around, let him just wave his hand, or maybe he's still on his way. Is he around? Is he here now? Please, Emeka, come forward. I will need a little bit of your help and time, please. I know you don't like showing yourself, but forgive me for now. Thank you. Please come forward. You recalled in that incident, when we got home and opened the door, what we saw broke me from that moment. It was a woman I married with another man in the house. You saw it with your eye. Yes, yes. Before he traveled abroad. How do I say this to the people? How do I say this to the church? The lady in quote, that's my ex-wife, is one of those who got attracted to the anointing without proper Christian foundation. Like I said, I was 22, 23 years old. It broke me. It took me time to recover. A fellowship around a place in Gowon Estate, and we're traveling. We're going to that place.
All right. So if you don't know what we're talking about, again, Happy New Year, welcome back. We're talking about Chris Okafor. This went completely viral and crazy while I was away from the platform. And the video you're looking at here says Pastor Chris Okafor brought out his younger brother as a witness, claiming they both caught his ex-wife red-handed with another man on their matrimonial bed. All this is happening on the pulpit. Or more. More things that happen in this life. But anyway, let me bring you up to speed. For those of you that are strictly loyal to this platform, that you might not be familiar with what is going on. Early December, social media begins buzzing with rumors of Pastor Okafor, Pastor Chris Okafor. Somebody said, "Don't call him a pastor." I said, "Okay, all right, sorry." Anyway, he made an announcement. He was getting married to a young lady called Pearl. And this other young lady, Doris Ogala, came out crying, like buzzing crazily on her social media page, accusing Okafor of betraying her, promising to marry her. You cannot, who are you going to leave me to? Who are you going? She claims they had been in a relationship since 2017, that he persuaded her to leave her former marriage. She was actually married to another person, some kind of childhood friend or something like that. But anyway, before you knew it, she eventually filed a lawsuit, a 1 billion naira lawsuit. I don't know what that is. Was that like how much is 1 billion naira? It's like almost $1 million or something like that. Maybe $750,000. She filed a lawsuit for breach of promise. All right. And she also made a lot of claims. She made some allegations around things like kidnapping, things like she knows where everything is buried, Anyway, December 16, Ogala's legal team, they filed a lawsuit. On December 18, despite the outcry, Pastor Okafor proceeds with his wedding. He went forward to get married to Pearl anyway in Lekki, Lagos. December 20th, Doris Ogala is arrested by the police. And of course, Very Dark Man came out like a Superman, like, I give you 72 hours. Leave that woman, else you're going to learn. You're going to learn the hard way. Anyway, December 20th, she was arrested at her residence while she was actually on live with another YouTuber, Auntie Aduni. December 22, following public outcry, they released her. That was like a Monday, I think. She was released from police custody with the help of the likes of Showre, Sahara reporters, and the followers of the Take It Back movement and the Revolution Now movement. So they got her released, but I don't know which one is which one. Anyway, by December 24, Christmas Eve, somebody came out. Chidera Okafor, she appears on the live stream with Very Dark Man, Very Dark Man. Chidera Okafor is essentially, allegedly, well, I don't know if it's confirmed yet, but it's basically the daughter, the first daughter, not from the actual ex-wife, but somebody else that he got pregnant while the wife was pregnant at home some years back, like almost 20 years ago. And she claimed that Okafor also tried to sleep with her while she was living with her own father. Okay, Okafor made some denials. He's also asking for a DNA test. I'm just going to tell you like this. This story is a very thick one. Okay, I know you guys have probably been following it. I'll tell you like this. This is what happens in a system that has no system. In a system that has no system, you're going to have charlatans in the name of Jesus. They're going to take advantage of the gullible. That's all I see Chris Okafor as, to be honest with you. I think that story is still unfolding. I think it was another thing that I really wanted to point out here is that he tendered some crazy apology. Well, I think this is a small clip from that apology where he used the apology to drag his ex-wife. Okay, you see, this kind of lame people, sometimes money misroad, sometimes they get rich. Of course, if they're in a system where there's a lot of gullible people, they can easily get rich because there's a lot of gullible people that you can serve with bullshit. And of course, you can easily get rich, have a lot of power. But he came out, I think he's thinking he still has the same level of power. But social media is going to show a lot of people shaggy. 2026 is just getting started. It's going to be wild, But let me just say like this, I think I don't think Doris Ogala is innocent, but I don't think it matters because I'm I pay more attention to power dynamics, and whenever there's power dynamics, there's usually one person or one party or one side that has an upper hand. That person in real life has a lot more responsibility. If you don't think so, or it doesn't look like that, it's usually short term. I mean, you can see the advent of social media right now. You're going to see more and more people, powerful people, coming down because of pride, because of arrogance, because absolute power corrupts absolutely. But yeah, let me know what your thoughts are. So far, I think the story is still unfolding because he thinks he's still in control. I think today, as of today, he announced he's going on some kind of vacation. We'll see how it pans out over time. For now, let's just keep an eye on this story. Let me know what your thoughts are. And yes, I'll be right back.
This is Ola, man of Prestige, your favorite relationship and marriage coach. If you enjoy this, smash that like, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs it. Be a part of the Prestige family. My wife Lola and I have written 2 powerful books, Get My Marriage Back and Number 1 Red Flag, yours free at manofprestige.com. For personal coaching, send me a WhatsApp request for consultation to +1 732 305 8577. Stay tuned for more. Your journey to love and prestige starts here.
Happy New Year. Welcome back. Let's listen to Moyo Lawal real quick.
Entertainers should be seen and not heard. And as a thespian, no matter what is happening in your reality, the show must always go on. This is something I probably might never have come out to talk about, and that's why I refused every interview, and I just cried with my family and my friends. But there's a narrative that I posted this intimate part of my life, and I refuse to allow it to me. Entertainers should be seen and not heard. And as a thespian, no matter what is happening in your reality, the show must always go on. This is something I probably might never have come out to talk about, and that's why I refused every interview. Refused to allow this narrative stick with me forever. And more importantly, I've had a few girls reach out to me who are in similar situations, and they keep telling me that they're going to off themselves, that they don't know what to do, their mental state, and they want to leave him. Some people are being threatened, I just need them to understand that this shame is not theirs to carry. it's not their fault. You never really know somebody until you threaten to leave them, or you want to leave them, or you do something that they don't like. I refuse to allow this narrative stick with me forever. And more importantly, I've had a few girls reach out to me, or you do something that they don't like. In my own case, he told me that it was my fault that this happened because I refused to post him on my socials. Have I ever posted anybody on my socials? He said it's my fault because I refused to post him, and that if he can't have me, then nobody else would ever want me again. I've always had this ability to just overlook things, or you do something, just numb out what is happening in reality, because I've always had such fun characters that I can always live vivaciously through. But I'm flipping the switch. I've decided that I'm now going to be living vivaciously through my own reality as Moyo, as my own life, not through my characters anymore. Like, I'm just going to have a life full of fun, drama, talking too much, experimenting with what people are doing, just following the crowd, just doing whatever, because just numb out what else could happen. I mean, the worst has already happened to me. You're probably thinking to yourself that is it not this same Moyo that I know that is talking about now living a vivacious life? Posting a few test traps on my socials is absolutely nothing. It's different from my reality. I've always lived my life like a married woman whose husband was out. You know how your husband travels, or your husband is at sea, or your husband... That's how my entire adult life has been. I started working from before I became I've just always been very, because life happened to me when I was really young. Because life happened to me when I was really young. I'm flipping the switch, and
Uncle Patrick, Happy New Year,
I'm
sir.
looking forward to an entirely new character, new adventure, and I hope you will go on this adventure with me and not judge me a bit too much. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you to all my friends and family who understood my need to not want to talk, who understood my need to, because life happened to me when I was really young.
All right, so that's Moyo Lawal that you guys were looking at. She's an Hollywood actress. And as you're reading on the screen, September 9, 2023, a series of intimate videos featuring her and an unidentified man, later revealed to be her then fiance, are leaked on social media. The videos went viral and sparking massive wave of controversy. Ever since then, I think she's tried to pretend like it didn't affect her. And she released an official statement. She clarified that the man in the video was her partner, whom she intended to marry at the time the video was made. And she describes the leak as a criminal breach of privacy and vows to take legal action. By late September 2023, public opinion is split while some offer support. Others accuse her of strategically leaking the tape for clout. I mean, once you're a public figure, you can easily be accused at any point in time for clout. So that's not really. I'm not gonna wait that. But she said something. She said, just when she does a little test trap on the internet, it's not really a reality. When are people going to start realizing that social media is reality? When, like in 50 years' time? When are people going to finally realize that social media is as real world as it's going to ever get? We're not going back to whatever you thought reality was. Reality is exactly what we are looking at right now in real time. Like right now, you're hanging out with me on New Year's Day, 2026. That's real. There's no other reality outside of that. Okay. Let's stop. We like to tell ourselves talking point that feels good in the moment, but when you start to think deeper, you realize that they're just all lies. We need to pay attention. Somebody said we were talking about lazy writer yesterday, saying people should open up. Now she's talking about something that she's struggling with. Now they shun her. So they said, no, normalize staying alone sometimes. Don't date. Stay celibate. Work. And this has nothing to do with anything. I think Tiwa Savage also experienced the same thing. I think you're going to see more and more people experience the same thing. Why? Because they don't realize that the device in their hands is the world. It's literally the world. And you can press the wrong thing and then and some people can actually use it as a vindictive tool to hurt you. If, for example, you say you don't want to post them publicly. What did she say? She said this guy said that she wasn't posting him publicly, and that's why he decided to post their intimate session, them doing ta publicly. That is crazy. What kind of men are you people dating? Anyway, it's Nollywood. What do I expect? Anyway, let me know what your thoughts are. Hit the like button, share, subscribe, turn up your notifications so you're notified when we go live. Let's move on to some other trendy topics around the world.
This is Ola, man of Prestige, your favorite relationship and marriage coach. If you enjoyed this, smash that like, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs it. Be a part of the Prestige family. My wife, Lola, and I have written 2 powerful books, Get My Marriage Back and Number 1 Red Flag, yours free at manofprestige.com. For personal coaching, send me a WhatsApp request for consultation to +1 732 305 8577. Stay tuned for more. Your journey to love and prestige starts here.
Let's listen to this. Happy New Year. Welcome back. Let's listen to this. All right, what are we watching? We're watching a post on Official Blessing CEO, the most popular relationship coach out of Nigeria. I said the most popular. All right, so apparently she's taking a new boo, a new husband to be IVD to Mboyi States, her father's compound. But why is this relevant? I'll show you something. So just listen to this. Listen to this.
At this point, but God said He's not going to give us a battle that will swallow us.
All right, so I don't want to bore you or waste your time. What are we looking at? We're looking at the cloud chaser. Now, this is a bona fide cloud chaser. Now, again, just because somebody is chasing cloud doesn't mean that's not reality. Stop separating the two. Okay, this is like people separating dating from relationship from marriage. I mean, people separating spirituality from physicality. It's confusion. Our reality is our reality. It comprises of all of those things, and you can't separate them. Okay. So, in that same token, please don't separate Cloud from Blessing CEO and the fact that she's the most popular relationship coach out of Nigeria. So, this guy is a blogger, Tosin Silver Dam. He posted this video of her crying, seemingly that, maybe there's another breakup, trouble in paradise or something like that. And of course, less than 48 hours later, Blessing decided to showcase this, that, insinuating that maybe they're going to our family house to ask for our hands in marriage. Okay. And, you know, and what? Just in case you don't know the full backstory of it, who is IVD? IVD is a guy. I covered his story long before he got with Blessing CEO. Before we knew what Blessing CEO is, IVD was a guy who got into an altercation with his wife, and that's the guy right there. You're looking at him on the screen now, and in the middle of all of that, his wife lost her life in the middle of an altercation between him and his wife. We don't know what happened there. As a matter of fact, recently he was just exonerated from a potential. I don't know what the charges were, but he was facing the law because they were in an altercation. There was a fire, and the wife got unfortunately burnt. And she lost her life between their house and some kind of emergency room in Lagos, and back and forth. She lost her life, but everybody is scared of this guy as a potential, because there were issues on their street from time that the wife and him, they were heavily engaged in domestic violence, heavily engaged in domestic violence. So now she decided that after she got popular from actually trying to take picture in front of the wrong person's house and claiming that was her house, she was also chasing clout. Again, she's a clout chaser. It doesn't change the fact that she's the most popular relationship coach out of Nigeria. I mean, she has 1.2 million monitoring spirits following her on social media. And remember what I just tell you today. It's 2026. Social media is real. Shout out to Uncle Beno. I see you, sir. And shout out to Yukus Pepe. Happy New Year, ladies and gentlemen. Happy New Year. So this guy his very existence is scary to a lot of people. But of course, cloud chasers they don't have anything to get some clout, So he decided to engage this guy, help him out, clean him up, whatever their story is. And now every other week or every other month, she's pulling some kind of stunts to get some more clout. What do we know about clout without substance? It can only last for so long, because when it comes to clout, like for example, this platform, what we cover here is trendy stories. Every video expires literally within 48 hours, literally at most 1 month. I have a few videos that have like an evergreen thing to it on this platform right here. Okay, they die almost immediately. That's the funny thing about clout. You have to keep chasing it. Right? It's like money. It's like women, not women itself, but the idea of chasing women, right? It dies off. If you don't live your life on substance, you're going to get drained eventually. So don't worry about it. Again, hopefully they're able to build something more sustainable out of this cloud that you're chasing. But please don't get it twisted. Nobody gets away with anything. Okay? If he in fact killed his wife, which we don't know, he's just been exonerated from that, it's not going to get away with that. Okay, you and I may not be able to see when it happens, when the karma happens, because this is not an Hollywood movie, right? But please do not buy. Hey, Duchess, good to see you, Duchess Vivi. Do not buy into this idea that some people like good people are the one that suffer in this life and bad people always get away. Don't buy into that idea, because the reality is that we don't see everything that's happening. Even in your own life, you don't really see everything that's happening, right? You're putting your best forward, you put your best foot forward. That's about all you can do, right? And you just trust God with the rest, right? But let's not cap, right? what you do with your life, what you're doing with your time, right, which is your life, has a lot of weight, has a lot of impact on how your life turns out in the long run. In the short term, it doesn't always look like that. It might look like, oh, maybe I should jump on this kind of bandwagon and chase clout on the internet like Blessing CEO. She's winning. Be careful, okay? Because honestly, we have no idea what is going on in that person's personal life at an internet level. We have no idea. So stop waiting again for karma. Face your own life. But don't separate clout, because clout is actually it's a valuable part of business. It's called marketing, okay? I just wouldn't I wouldn't use my life, my personal life, to chase clout, but to each his own. But be careful is the point of this segment right here. Hit the like button, share, subscribe. Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Hit the like button, subscribe. We have some other trendy stories around the world. I'll be right back.
This is Ola, man of Prestige, your favorite relationship and marriage coach. If you enjoy this, smash that like, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs it. Be a part of the Prestige family. My wife, Lola, and I have written 2 powerful books, Get My Marriage Back and Number 1 Red Flag. Yours free at manofprestige.com. For personal coaching, send me a WhatsApp request for consultation to +1 732 305 8577. Stay tuned for more. Your journey to love and prestige starts here.
Happy New Year, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. Let's talk about Akpabio versus Akpoti. Let's listen to this video. I'll be right back.
And because of what you said here, I had almost 9 cases in court against some individuals, against people who defamed me, who lied against me, who slandered my name, and all. But listening to the priest, I suddenly realized he was talking to me. So I hereby direct my solicitors to withdraw all lawsuits against them. And because of what you said here, I had almost 9 cases in court against some individuals, against people who defamed me, who lied against me, who slandered my name, and all. But listening to the priest, I suddenly realized he
Baba
was
is
talking
turning
to
a
me.
new leaf. It's
So I hereby
2026.
direct my solicitors to withdraw all lawsuits against them.
All right, so that's Senator President Akpabio. That's him turning a new leaf. I don't know if that was 2026, but that must have been between Christmas and now. He filed a billionaire, I think, lawsuit against. But let me give you a quick backstory. So 2025 was quite eventful, as you guys know. So February 2025, during a live interview, Senator Natasha accused Akpabio, Senator Natasha, the young lady that who is also a character in this story. She accused Senator President Akpabio of an historic sexual harassment, alleging that he tied the advancement of their different legislative responsibilities to being able to submit and surrender the Kwekus. Now, allegedly, okay. So by March, she was kicked out. She was suspended for 6 months by what they call the ethics or something like that, the Senate Ethics Committee, and she was suspended for 6 months. There was a lot of outcry to bring her back. She was never brought back, but I think she's back to the Senate seats now. And so she was suspended. They tried to go through the court. There was conflict between who has more power. Was it the court? Was it the Senate? Was it legislative? But this is Nigeria, okay? So, but anyway, by December 2025, Senator President Akpabio filed a fresh 200 billion naira. Forget 1 billion naira. Sorry, 200 billion naira for defamation against Natasha Akpoti. Natasha Akpoti is from one of the, I think, it's Central District in Kogi State, something like that. And he was seeking for nationwide apologies and removal of our interviews from social media, from our rights TV. Yeah, right. But then, as you can see, this was December. This was just this last December that we just finished yesterday. And now we have this video of him saying he's forgiven and is withdrawing all different 9 lawsuits that he had filed against different various individuals. Is commanding all the solicitor, withdraw them right now or die. So that's what we're dealing with here. Happy New Year, Emeka. Is that Mr. Emeka? Happy New Year to you, sir, if that's you. Yeah. So he's saying withdraw everything, he's turning a new leaf. I mean, the only thing we can do is applaud. We can only applaud that, right? Because honestly, just like Doris Ogala, Natasha is not exactly innocent, not of sexual harassment. That one, I believe it personally. Just my personal, I believe that happened. Why? Because the average Nigerian man, they don't even agree on the definition of sexual assault first. So if you can't agree on the definition of sexual assault, there's a good chance that you're committing a crime that you don't know anything. You don't know if you're actually committing the crime. By the way, ignorance is not an excuse. But that's what we're dealing with here. Let's be careful. That's what we're dealing with here. So anyway, he's now saying he's forgiving of the lawsuits and everything, right? So somebody said in this comment, so Natasha be like Olumo Rock. She jam you, she scatter. You jam her, you still scatter. That sounds like very dark man. You come for me, you're the victim. I come for you, you're still the victim. Anyway, somebody said court of forgiveness. I am more concerned about politicians being allowed to make speeches in church. Hey, that's another angle. That's another angle because it's the same system. Systems are not your mates. Either you're talking about Pastor Chris, or you're talking about the gate man, maybe you're talking about the driver, maybe you're talking about the politician, Senator Akpabio. They're all the same. It's a mindset. That's why I want people that want to go to Nigeria to go and start a new leaf after they retire. Say, you are Jabota. Be careful. They don't think like you. Be careful. They don't think like you. I don't care what part of the sector, pastor, imam, they don't think. You don't think like them. You're not on the same page, okay? But of course, you can't see that yet until you don't collect. And then you come back, you come and tell us the story. Of course, there are exceptions, right? There's some people that rugged it out, right? But that's the minority. Most people, they will go back to Nigeria, they will run back to wherever they're coming from, because I'm talking about after a couple of years, you don't have this, the mindset is different. It's not like one is wrong and the other is right. The mindset is completely different thing. So do you believe him? Somebody said, let the case continue, Mr. Senate President. Let the courts prove they lied. All right, that's another angle. This is all strategy, right? Maybe he's realized that this is not 1996. We're not, yeah, let's just leave this alone. Maybe he's finally realized, but it's not just going to be that simple. They need to use it to double down on building, right? Building better leverage, because now to the gullible, he looks like he's innocent. Like, what can you ask? What else can you ask from a man than to just learn how to forgive? The gullible is like, yeah, forgiveness is so sweet. Yeah, forgiveness is still good. I'm just saying, you got to look deeper than what you're looking at oftentimes. Systems are much more powerful than your righteousness. Okay, your righteousness is like filthy rag in the grand scheme of things. The scripture talks about in the eyes of God. In the grand scheme of things, you think you're righteous and you think that's what you need. No, you need to understand that what you surround yourself with has a lot more power than your intentionality. And I would definitely advise you to be careful as we're looking through some of these stories. I was going to be covering them. Going to be covering a lot of stories this year. So pay attention to context. Don't just take one rhetoric and run with it. Okay? If you come to me, if you're lucky enough and you're saying it to me, I will ask you, what do you mean? Most people are not going to ask you what you mean. They're going to interpret with their own belief system. They're going to interpret with their own context on how they can relate in the way they can relate to the one-liner that you said. That's what they're going to do, right? And when they react, you might not like it, right? And then you end up in bass. So I say Akuko. Akuko in Igbo means story. It's one of my Igbo friends that taught me that Akuko means story. Say, this guy is telling stories. Somebody's like, no, if I no withdraw, I'm nonsense. Lawyers no go chop again. They'll still pay the lawyer now for their services. They'll still pay the lawyer. But shout out to Natasha Akpoti. She's definitely a force. They I don't think they have much choice than to welcome, because this was back in the days. She'll be forgotten. So clap for yourselves. Social media is much more powerful than any one of us have realized yet. Why? Because optics, because media is powerful. It's not your mates. And when it has this kind of virality that we're looking at right now in front of us right now, it's just not something that arrogant people can contain. The more arrogant you are, the worse it gets for you. Okay. Shout out to Miss Rose. Happy New Year to you. Welcome back. Do me a favor, hit the like button. We'll be right back.
This is Ola, man of prestige, your favorite relationship and marriage coach. If you enjoyed this, smash that like, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs it. Be a part of the Prestige family. My wife Lola and I have written 2 powerful books, Get My Marriage Back and Number 1 Red Flag. Yours free at manofprestige.com. For personal coaching, send me a WhatsApp request for consultation to +1 732 305 8577. Stay tuned for more. Your journey to love and prestige starts here.
Happy New Year. Let's watch this video together, ladies and gentlemen. Let's watch this video of Peller just a few weeks ago.
Thank you, everybody. I love you guys. Thank you. I'm going to kill myself. I swear to God, I'm not going. I'm scared. Why remember me? I'm scared. I don't want to harm anybody. I just want to dream by myself. Let me do this by myself. Please. I want to die. My body's shaking. My body's shaking. Fucking cool. You went so.
Shout out to Uncle Emeka. Shout out to the real fam. All right, so what you're looking at is some kind of dramatic heartbreak ending to, I don't know if any one of you guys were here when I covered this guy Peller and Jarvis story. I don't know, it was like a month ago, maybe more like almost 2 months ago. And I hate to say this, but I predicted that it was going to be over. Okay, I hate to say it. Shout out to Marriott. Hi Marriott, happy New Year to you, lady. I hate to say it, but I predicted it. I mean, you can go and review the video, but the prediction is not because I'm a prophet, though. It's just these things have pattern, But let's go back in time real quick. By April 2024, there were dating rumors between these two young people, young lots. Jarvis is I covered that story. I did like a whole live stream. Go watch it. Just type in Peller Jarvis Man of Prestige to come up, and I basically did an analysis of everything she was saying. In fact, previously before that, she was saying, she came out, Jarvis came out, and she was saying things like, wow, everybody in their business, we fight how we fight, and there are grown people that say this. The reason why I'm covering this is not because they're 21-year-old people, because grown people do this kind of nonsense. They will normalize fighting. Okay, they will say, hey, it is normal for everybody to fight in a relationship. Say, yeah, you're right, because there's going to be some kind of conflict. Sometimes there's going to be disagreement. Of course, you're right.
You're right.
There's going to be, yeah, it's true. All right, but I can also hear through your inside your nose. You're transparent. You're basically trying to normalize bullshit or toxic relationships, and I can hear it. I may not be able to catch you. Maybe I caught you just like this instead of catching you like this. But if I don't catch you like this, right, that's your own problem, because if I catch you like this, it's better, because I can at least correct you. But if you are moving around and you're doing like this, you do like this because you're using semantics. Me, I can tell, and I just pray for you. That's all I can do. If you don't tell me the truth, because if you're lying to yourself. How can you be lying to the person in the mirror? Anyway, she kept saying people were on their business and this and that, and they should allow them to fight how they fight. I said, she doesn't know anything. I said, she's going to have to dump Peller, because Peller also, even worse, because he's supposed to be the man in the relationship, the man, 19-year-old. But anyway, the man in the relationship, but they curse each other out. They use curse words. It's all banters and fun and game until the guys start to say, hey, why are you talking like, why are you doing that in public, right? I don't like how you behave in public. Keep going. And then he like, I beg, Daddy, I beg you, bastard. They just do things like that. And it's all jokes and fun until he got his heart broken. And that's the end of it that you just looked at right there. Anyway, so they were together for, I don't know, almost 18 months or so. I think they got together like mid 2024 or so. They were showcasing them, even when they're showcasing their love on social media. Honestly, sometimes when it comes, because some of these things, it comes on your feed, right? Like, I don't follow them, but it comes on my feed. Do I follow Peller? I'm not sure, but I don't follow, as in like I'm not paying attention to what they're doing. But the bottom line is that regardless, it shows up on your feed. If you see something crazy, like two children inside of a swimming pool, you see two children inside of a swimming pool, like you see one is like, okay, it looks like this one is just like a mid-20s or so, right? But this other one looks almost like he's 12 years old, and you're looking at that and you're kind of like, and you go like this, and you're when that few seconds that you're zoning in and looking at, the algorithm is recording as interest, and now before you know it, it's showing on your feed all the time. And that's what we saw. But why should we pay attention to that? Because clearly all of you are looking at it too. So we got to pay attention. What is this that's so interesting about their situation that people were paying attention directly or indirectly? I don't expect you to admit to following them, just like I did not admit to it, right? What is it about them? It's because people are disrespectful to the idea of romantic relationships. People think it's a common sense thing. People think just because you can knock, just because your prick can rise, that you somehow know what it takes to be in a relationship. You do, but you don't have what it takes to sustain it. This is not just only true for a 21-year-old Peller, I promise. Okay, what I'm saying right now is very important for all of us at any age. We had a system, a patriarchal system, maybe. We had a belief system that would work for it for long enough. But now, gentlemen, we're getting dumped left and right every other day. Okay, people are losing their household. Okay, and what they want to do is hold the person that left accountable. And that's not working, because clearly they want to leave and they could care less about your opinion. Anyway, by April 2025, Jarvis claimed they were not dating, but were in a content partnership contract that was set to expire. Once somebody starts being in denial, okay, eventually she came out and said it was Peller's idea, because Peller was also getting attention. It's a young boy, right? He's in love with this young girl, but he was also getting a lot of attention from all these little girls on social media, So before you know it, I got a hold of a couple of things that she was saying in one live stream after like a massive breakout. I think she was able to travel different places in Africa and stuff like that. And all the while when she was traveling, Peller was insecure with the way he was moving. And she didn't like that. And then she was already starting to look around for maybe, I mean, she's 24, 23, something like that. So she probably has people in her DMs that say, why are you with that small boy? That boy looks like he's 9-year-old, right? Of course, how do we interpret that in real life? If you were a grown person, it's called distractions. There's distractions everywhere. If your household is not conducive for your partner, right? There's competition. There are billions of us here, okay? And yes, husband snatching is real. It's not directly, okay? Because you can't snatch a person that doesn't want to be snatched, right? Yeah, I hear you. You're right. Okay? You're right.
You're right.
Not only is husband snatching real, wife snatching is real, okay? But like I said, it's an indirect thing. Bottom line is that this is a competitive environment. I'm not asking you to be a pick-me or a simp or whatever, because somebody was coming up with an idea that you have to be a simp or a pick-me to sustain a relation long term. No, that's not what we're talking about. In fact, I'm going to sound like a broken record. What I'm asking you to do is to work on yourself. Make sure that you don't have a competition in these streets. All you need to not have competition in these streets is self-development. I promise you, Allah. That's all you need. Self-awareness, emotional intelligence. That's all you need. Majority of human beings are zombies. They're walking around with common sense and they have no sense. Just work on yourself, okay? What we've seen in this story right now is they're basically mimicking. It's what they've seen their parents do. They just want to beg. They want to use right and wrong rhetoric. They want to moralize romance, right? So you see a lot of people that are following Peller actually trying to shame her and saying she disappointed them and saying she betrayed Peller. Moralizing romance doesn't work. Write this down and take that to the bank. Moralizing romantic relationships does not work long term. No one cares about anything outside of their feelings. Write that down. Please take that to the bank. Let me see. Uncle Emeka says, MOP, I don't understand this kind of love. Oh, I guess that's how Gen Z's love. No, we all do it though. It looks different on the surface sometimes, but we all do it. There are grown women who will try to manipulate you in staying with them. And they will say, I'm going to buy myself. They say, I'm going to kill myself. There are people, I know grown people that did that. It's called manipulation, sir. It's manipulative behavior. It doesn't work. Obviously, you're empty. If you have to threaten the person so you don't leave them, or so they don't leave you, you have to threaten them with everything. Obviously, you're empty. It's no wonder they want to leave you. I think that's the lesson from this one. Do me a favor, hit the like button, share, subscribe, turn up your notifications. Let me know what your thoughts are. We'll be right back.
This is Ola, man of prestige, your favorite relationship and marriage coach. If you enjoy this, smash that like, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs it. Be a part of the Prestige family. My wife, Lola, and I have written 2 powerful books, Get My Marriage Back and Number 1 Red Flag, yours free at manofprestige.com. For personal coaching, send me a WhatsApp request for consultation to +1 732 305 8577. Stay tuned for more. Your journey to love and prestige starts here.
All right, welcome back. Let's talk about Kandi and Todd. Kandi is one of the ladies on Housewives of Atlanta. She's reportedly the richest of all the ladies on House of Atlanta. I don't know. Wait till they happen here. Waiting they happen. Let me. Oh, okay. I see why. There you go. Let's remove this. Sorry about that, guys. All right. So, just a little while ago, they announced, Kandi came out to announce divorce. Sadly, she came out to announce divorce. She actually filed divorce for November 21st, 2025, was when she filed for the divorce. And this shortly after she received what they call the wife time. Listen to this, Kandi accepts a wife time not life, a Lifetime Achievement Award at what they call the BravoCon. Okay, and in her speech, she publicly thanks the husband, Todd, for surviving the blogs, the shade, the rumors, and the lies, signaling to fans that they were still a united front. 7 days later, she officially files for divorce. All right, and that show is known, that particular show, I don't know if there's anybody else that was married, that still remained married on that show. I don't think there was anybody else that still remained married on that show. But hold on one second. I don't think so. Like most people that got on that show, they actually ended up divorced or something happened to them, you know. And this is the power of media, you know. A lot of people, public figures, they act like they are immune to the effect of the media, and the reality is that you're not. You know, you have a human brain, you have human emotions, and if a bunch of strangers are talking smack about you, let's say they say, hey, is this air inside of your nose, they start saying things like that, it has an effect on you. You know, it will eventually have an effect on you. No, I just don't. I don't go into the comments. You know, I don't go into the comments. Yeah, you're right.
Stop the cap.
Yeah. So I don't. Mario says, Housewives is the divorce your husband special. Yes, precisely. And it's sad, you know, because those kind of shows, it's sad, but also a sad reality. Because I'm not going to ask media platforms to cater to your relationship well-beings, okay, or your mental well-beings. Their job is to maximize profits. No, let's hold them accountable. No, we can't. I'm sorry. You stop patronizing them. Hold yourself accountable. Stop patronizing them, okay? You're not going to watch the show if they're just busy showing you a bunch of happy wives, okay? It doesn't make any sense for them to spend money on shows and spend money retaining spots, retaining what they call it, retaining I forgot the word, but in media they have to retain where they will show these shows, all these different content spots. They have to retain that to show you this, right? And that costs a lot of money, and it costs millions of dollars. They have to pay all these people multi-figure salaries, right? Multi-six-figure salaries to bring the shows and put the show together, storytelling, all this kind of stuff. So of course, if somebody's livelihood is around the well-being of your marriage, what do you think they're gonna do? They're going to tell the story, potentially fabricate a good story that will get more eyeballs across all the media. So, and that's what we're dealing with. So I'm going to tell you right now, it is what it is. That they call it Housewives of Atlanta, Housewives of Potomac, right? I was looking at this other lady, Monique from the Potomac, right? And she just got caught with somebody else's husband, allegedly. She left her husband, the tall guy, I forgot his name now, and he left her husband. You know, I saw a lot of the clips, you know, where he just I don't know what was going on in their relationship, but it just seemed like she had no patience, and she was extremely rude to this guy. Even when the guy was like, okay, I'm sorry. The guy was trying to fix the relationship, but she wouldn't take it. Where did she end up? She ended up in the arms of somebody else's husband. That story is way too much right now. I mean, those stories of people leaving their husband and ending up with somebody else's husband is viral. Okay, so you might see me pulling some of those up on this show, okay? Because I want you to pay attention here. The same work that they ask you to do while you're, that's really where I'm getting at with this Kandi and Todd story. The same thing they ask you to do while you inside the marriage, you will end up doing it outside the marriage after your eyes don't clear. It's not easy, okay? And I'm not talking about domestic violence situation. In that case, you should leave, of course. As a matter of fact, if you feel abused, you should leave. What I'm asking you to do is that don't jump from fry pan into fire. Anyway, why am I pulling up this Todd story right now? Apparently, they spent holidays together. They said, Happy New Year. This is 3 hours ago that Todd posted this. Happy New Year. Here's my first scheme of 2026. Create and enjoy moments with family. The talkers. Let me give you a cheat sheet. Sometimes if you don't lose what you have, you won't value it. Okay, sometimes if you don't lose what you have, you can't value it. Okay, what is readily available you will take for granted. If you notice, I did not say anything about good character, bad character, home training, how you were raised, all that nonsense. Okay, there's people don't come to my show unless they have good home training, or at least they've retrained themselves. They just don't. They don't end up here. Okay, they don't. So my assumption is that if you're listening to this show, you have home training and you have a decent character. This has nothing to do with your chances of surviving romantic relationships. It just doesn't. It has nothing. Zero. Kojoraon. Two to get two. There's a lot of us with good character. So you're not special. There's nothing special about you that you have good character. I bet you married a wife that you thought was good character. You're now disappointed. It has nothing to do with anything. What it comes down to, what I'm trying to express to you is that there are some skills required when you're trying to do life with another human being. And no matter how long it's going to take you, I think they're filing for divorce 13 years later. You're going to have to come back and do the work. Okay? So they're being seen together even more so, even after filing for divorce. And I think that's a good thing. But can they survive it? Because the resentment sometimes, the longer it takes you to actually work on your relationship, the worse it gets. The resentments are so great. They're deep. They're rooted deeply. And sometimes you want to start valuing what you had. And sometimes it's just too late. The resentments are too deep. Some damages are just too bad. And if you have at least one person that can get past it, then you're just going to do a lot of go back and forth until it's completely over. So I'm not surprised that it seems to be trying to put it together, right? Somebody said, no, it's just for the kids. Stop the cap. Stop the bullshit. Please. Stop it.
Stop the cap.
Yeah. Have you seen people that in spite of the kids, they can't stand each other? They have to exchange the keys at this doorstep. Okay. Yeah, right. They can still stand each other. And there's a good chance they're best friends. There's a good chance that they just lost their way. It doesn't mean that they cannot act all freely like they're ready to get back together. No, because again, the resentment that they have to deal with sometimes just too much, and it's going to take a lot of work for them to get back. But if these are our first steps, I think that's beautiful. I think it's beautiful. And I want you to know that if you're in a position where somebody has filed for divorce, I've been there before. That's how I can speak to it. Somebody has filed for divorce. Okay, that's just paperwork. It's never too late. I don't care if the divorce happened 5 years ago. It's never too late. If you still have to be around each other because of the kids, because of responsibilities, because your life are intertwined, leverage that. But not just that. You now actually have to build yourself. You have to do some work so that it doesn't become another short-term situation. A lot of time people go into separation and, it's just too late. They come back and forth. Some of them keep having sex after they file for divorce. So it could mean they're working on it. It could mean anything. I'm just saying, I don't know that, but it just means that if that's what it is, I think that's a good thing. But they shouldn't just count on the ability to be together. They should actually do the work. When I say they, I don't mean together. Okay, because most times it's not going to be a simultaneous. Or you, whoever is listening to me, you do the work. You do the work. Let go of that older version of the marriage and focus on yourself. Okay, what can you do for yourself right now? With or without this marriage, you will still make sure you have an awesome life for the rest of your life. Wherever that is what you need to focus on. Happy New Year, Miss Godia. Good to see you. The ready is ready to finish Todd because the internet is ready to finish Todd because the internet are weirdos. They don't know what they're talking about. Oftentimes, they're speaking from their ass. Common sense bullshit. Excuse my French today. It's New Year. I'm cursing quite a bit today. I always curse, so I just try to keep it clean. From the okay, Mika says, Marriott, you're right. Todd doesn't have a lot of fans on the side. He doesn't. But hey, it's understandable. It's the internet, probably mostly women making a lot of comments. And also Todd, a lot of the comments that he made, I reviewed that on my last coverage of them, A lot of those comments just show somebody who was not competent. It's not a competent husband. That's not a crime. Most of us that are husbands are incompetent husband until we collect. After we collect, we realize that we didn't know jack. I don't want to curse again. We didn't know anything.
Everything I do, I will.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, hit the like button, share, subscribe. Let me know what your thoughts are about Todd and Kandi. Are you rooting for them? Abi, you don't care. Abi, you want it to end because you can't help but see your own story in it. I'm looking at you sideways. Anyway, I'll be right back.
This is Ola, man of Prestige, your favorite relationship and marriage coach. If you enjoy this, smash that like, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs it. Be a part of the Prestige family. My wife, Lawal, and I have written 2 powerful books, Get My Marriage Back and Number 1 Red Flag. Yours free at manofprestige.com. For personal coaching, send me a WhatsApp request for consultation to +1 732 305 8577. Stay tuned for more. Your journey to love and prestige starts here.
Welcome back. Let's pull this to the screen. Let's talk about Ye and Kim Kardashian. It's been a while that we've covered this too. I've been covering Kanye West for a long time. Sadly, I'm not a prophet of doom. I just know patterns when somebody's about to crash and burn. That's all. I don't want to be a prophet. In fact, what I'm trying not to be is a prophet of doom. Okay. All right. So there's nothing spiritual. Well, it's kind of spiritual. Everything is spiritual, in my opinion. But there's nothing extra spiritual about the fact that I can predict that a billionaire is about to lose $1 billion. And that's exactly what we did here when we addressed it some years back when it started to crash out. But I guess this is good news, so I figure we should look at this and talk about it, But there's this report here. What does it say? According to Complex Music, so Ye and Music. Well, I think it's a TMZ news actually. Ye and Ye, that's Kanye West. Kanye West and Kim Kardashian reportedly celebrated the holidays together with their children, continue to work on their relationship as co-parents. The one thing they ask you to work on in order to have a sustainable, long-term, healthy marriage. Happily married. There was an old argument around what is happily married and what is not. But healthy marriage, that means overall assessment is a healthy marriage, right? The same thing we ask you to do is what you're going to require to do if you have to co-parent. It is not there now. Because the big issue is a small thing, small issue, okay? People have ta-ta-ta with strangers. That's nothing. I'm talking about the relationship, right? The underlying relationship. So now they are continuing to work on their relationship after they've scattered everything, after their children is being used as porn everywhere on social media. Anyway, according to TMZ, Ye has been working on himself and has spent a lot of time reflecting on his outlandish behavior earlier this year. So this was 3 days ago, earlier in 2025. Okay, so we're in 2026 now. The two have had a tumultuous relationship since their divorce in 2022, with Kim opening up about her co-parenting relationship with Kanye West. Well, Kanye West is the kind of guy that would say, hey, I want to turn a hoe into a housewife. Excuse my French. I know that this girl has a sex tape everywhere with Ray J, but I'm the main guy. I'm Ye, man. I'm Ye. I'm a genius. So I can flip anything into money. You forgot that this is a woman, right? Now, is it possible for someone to get with a Kim Kardashian and have a healthy marriage? Well, there are other factors here. There's also monitoring spirits, probably more than 50 million monitoring spirits around the internet. So the forces against them is not just the sex tape, it's the fact that they are popular folks, public figure. And when you had the layer of sex tape on top of that, when you had the layer of a person like Kanye West on top of it, when you had the layer of Ray J on top of that, when you had the layer of Hollywood on top of that, it can be a mess, So Let's look at. So they're saying they made peace over the holidays. Let's see if we can see the. So this is according to TMZ. It says Ye and Kim made peace to celebrate the holidays together as a family. Kudos to them. Shout out to them. I'm happy for them. The pair are reportedly working on co-parenting their children as Ye continues to work on himself. He has spent a lot of time reflecting on his outlandish behavior earlier this year. Let's listen to this.
I'll call for them and ask. It's probably been a couple months since we've heard from him.
How do you handle, because it's all on you in those moments, the disappointment, if any, from the kids? Like, how do you explain those moments?
Thank you,
to
Ms.
them?
Goddess.
They always knew that he had a big life traveling before and was always on tour and all of that. So it's and that he lives in different countries all the time and loves to live all over the place. So, we manage it really well. Like they love like their life, their routine and their schedule. And I think just their job as their mom is just to make sure that they stick to their routine and they're healthy and happy.
When was the last time Kanye saw the kids?
Whenever he'll call for them and ask, it's probably been a couple months since we've heard from him.
How do you...
At this point, it's been a couple of months since they heard from him. Yet, every other week, Kanye is on social media claiming that they're not allowing to see his kids, or they are controlling his kids, or they're using his kids, or is making all these outlandish statements on the internet. Let's keep going.
Handle, because it's all on you in those moments, the disappointment, if any, from the kids? Like, how do you explain those moments to them?
They always knew that he had a big life traveling before and was always on tour and all of that. So it's and that he lives in different countries all the time and loves to live all over the place. So, we manage it really well. Like they love like their life, their routine and their schedule. And I think just their job as their mom is just to make sure that they stick to their routine and they're healthy and happy.
When was the last time Kanye...
One thing that just gets me is that there's this narrative that like I keep the kids.
Well, yeah. And the author of that narrative is Kanye West, of course, right? But I think he's speaking his experience. You see, this is one thing I want you to understand about marriage and relationships in general. When one side speaks their story, you know what we tend to do as normal? When I say normal, doesn't mean it's right or doesn't mean it's the wise thing to do. When we say normal people, they tell their own side of the story. And when the other person tells their own side of the story and is slightly different, you know what they do? They say, you're a liar. You're a liar. You're lying. That's lack of self-awareness. That's lack of emotional intelligence. Okay. The first thing first is to assume that person has had a different experience. Don't get me wrong. It's easier said than done, because you're going to feel like this person is just lying. Like they're just intentionally being hurtful, being evil, and they're lying against you and your character, right? So what do you naturally do? You get defensive. Defensiveness, one of the horsemen. 4 horsemen of divorce, right? Easily, divorce is coming very soon. Once you start getting defensive, I didn't talk about what caused it. I don't care how it started. If there's a lot of defensive energy in your relationship, divorce is right around the corner, okay? Or at least the quality of that relationship is going to be shit. So, where's the narrative coming from? Because he was busy telling his own side of the story. Yeah. Well, you can't just say they didn't allow you to see the kids. Well, if they said, no, you need to meet us over here because it's safer over here, of course, I can interpret that as you're not allowing me to see my kids. Remember that first episode where he was actually trying to jump over a fence into the birthday? They won't let him into a birthday or something like that. See, we didn't get the full story. Only God knows what was happening behind the scenes, that they had to prevent him from entering that place, right? I don't know. I can easily say I don't know. You know what most people say? No, we know. Stop acting like you don't know. Let's not pretend like we don't know here. No, actually, I don't know.
Never once, away from him. I've never once done that. Like there's been so many times where I've been like, I just want to show all of these texts. What are you talking about? Haven't heard. I begged them.
So what does she want to do? She wants to prove. She wants to do shalaye.
To go hang.
She wants to shalaye to the whole world why she's right. And there's a text message here and it's not like we stopped him. I just want to do explanation of what actually the context is. And
We go explain because no evidence.
no evidence. Miss Goddess says, how Kim handles that man. I'm not a fan of neither, but Kanye is a piece of work. Mario says, call me daddy used to be for young girls. Podcast don't blow. We're talking about Kanye. What do you mean young girls? That's what call her daddy. Too bad. Well, she's on there. She got daughters and sex tape at the same time. Men love this. She is keeping my kids from me. But in my personal experience, it is not true. Go to court. Listen, there's more than two sides to the story. Like much more than two sides story. For every human being that you tell the story to, another version of the story is created. That's how bad it is. When it comes to the stories that people tell to manipulate, to sound like the one who is the innocent one, to act like the victim, there's victims everywhere. So who's going to stop being a victim? That's my question for everybody. Who's going to choose to just stop being the victim once and for all? In a personal relationship, in a co-parenting relationship, regardless, all types of relationship, who's going to stop being the victim? I'll tell you what, it's not the manipulative one. It's not the narcissistic one. It's not the narc. The narcissists, they will be the first to call you a narcissist, by the way.
Oh, beauty.
Sorry, I'm finger happy. That wasn't, sorry, I didn't mean to press that. Sorry. Okay. I'm just saying the person that calls you a narcissist first is usually the narcissist, in my opinion. Okay. They just want to be a victim. Okay. They usually have not done any work. Most of the work they've done is telling the story of how they've been the victim. And the reality, many times they are a victim. But the problem is that when you perpetuate victimhood, all bets are off. The devil is happy all day long. That's what makes it easy. It makes it super easy. You know, anybody believing Kim's story? Kim, I beg go. All of us, every one of us have narcissistic traits. Trust me. Over the mentally healed man, yes. Okay, don't argue inside of the chat. Marriott and Uncle Bendo. Let's just call it what. Like I said, there's much more than two sides to the story. The only people that can work on this is the two people involved in the relationship, and really all it takes is one person rising above the situation. Okay, who's gonna rise above being a victim?
Out or things like that. It's more of just the narrative that, like, I think it's all good and we're living our life, and then I just wake up and there's all these tweets about how I've kidnapped the kids, and I'm like, it's not a kidnapping, it's a divorce. Every time he is asked, I will always let them see their father.
She said it's not a kidnapping, it's a divorce. Ladies and gentlemen, that will be the end of today's show. I'll be back very, very soon. Much faster than you realize. Thank you, everybody. Happy New Year. Thank you for a successful 2025. We made it. Thank you so much. We'll see you guys. Don't forget to hit the like button, share, subscribe, turn up your notifications. I'll be right back.
This is Ola, man of Prestige, your favorite relationship and marriage coach. If you enjoyed this, smash that like, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs it. Be a part of the Prestige family. My wife Lola and I have written 2 powerful books, Get My Marriage Back and Number 1 Red Flag. Yours free at manofprestige.com. For personal coaching, send me a WhatsApp request for consultation to +1 732 305 8577. Stay tuned for more. Your journey to love and prestige starts here.